Hey everybody, this is Evan Jenkins.
I'm Diamond Jenkins.
And we're back again with another video about relationships. Second edition here in Thailand, so we're super excited about that. Got an opportunity to take in some good vibes, have a nice vacay, also still be able to come to you guys with extra things about relationships. Today, we kind of want to talk about some things that we saw online, some things that she and I actually talk about often, just for memes, different things that we'll see on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, different things in social media, and how people feel about them. And usually she and I have a completely different way that we feel about things than, the general public. So we figured we might as well make a video about it. Today we're going to be talking about actually be his peace. This was coming from some memes and some different things that Diamond and I saw and that we were discussing. If you happen to miss last week's video, we talked about embracing your uniqueness, which is a very, very special video, so we definitely want you to check that out. We'll be touching on some of those parts from that video in this video as well, but for the most part, Diamond's going to go over a few key reasons and points as to why we feel differently about be his peace than I think a lot of the general public, and then I'm going to do the same so we can round it out, give you guys some good information and best practices.
Yeah, so like Evan was saying, we're always having these different conversations. I have these conversations with my friends also, and we have some really good dialogue, and we want to, like we said before, just bring that dialogue to you guys. So just for a frame of reference, we're gonna show the memes, and I'm gonna be like reading them off to you, just so you know kind of like what we're referring to. So first we have, ladies, be your man's peace, not his headache. Next, be his peace and his freak.
Oh wow.
Don't become another battle that he has to fight. Be his peace. There comes a time in a man's life that all he wants is peace. But if you interrupt his peace, well, and being married has taught me that my man doesn't need me to be his peace. He needs me not to disturb it. So after all of that, I'm looking like, yo, like I'm the author meme at this point, because I'm like, yo, we need to talk about this, because I'm looking at it through, like the eyes of like being reared as a young girl and hearing all of these different things. And you may not think that these memes are a big deal, but that's part of that societal pressure that we put on women. When you think about it, for me as a therapist, as a follower of Christ, like that's not even the women or a woman's primary duty. Our primary duty is to sustain a peaceful atmosphere, and that's based off of what we receive from our husbands. So we're putting all of this pressure on ourselves to be superwoman and be perfect, and that's coupled with how we were raised. So we're reared with the expectations on how to be a good wife since we're little. And you couple that with that societal pressure. I can remember being in elementary school and deciding like, yo, I'm about to go hoop. I don't know what y'all about to do over here, but I'm about to go play basketball. And then being discouraged real quick, like, hey, you need to go back over there with the girls, because they over there, jump the rope. The girls over there playing house. The girls over there, like, learning how to be good wives and cooking and, playing chefs and things like that. Like, you don't need to be over here. So that can discourage, like, a young girl, like, really fast on pursuing their passions in life, thinking about what's important here, what should I be focused on, and that's the societal pressure, these memes, that is what drives us to think we need to be perfect or we need to be super women. I can remember another personal experience early on in our marriage, being at family gatherings and Evan getting up to like make a plate for me, and the older women are looking at me like with that side eye, like, why aren't you making his plate?
Me too.
And just being judged about the roles that we take in our marriage. So I'm looking at it like, what's the issue here? And I think the issue is the standard, or the expectation is, you're not a good wife unless you make his plate, or unless you don't nag, you avoid issues that are important to you, you ignore how you feel, you gotta be his peace, be his solitude, be a freak, be a cook, so you're looking at all of these things and you wonder why, like, statistically, when women choose to or decide to get married, their life expectancy dramatically decreases. I don't feel like that's a coincidence when you're looking at everything we've just mentioned. I don't think it's a coincidence that 56% of African Americans believe that it's that depression is a normal part of aging. For me, that's not a coincidence. So when I'm thinking about everything in its totality, and for me, when I decide as a woman I want to be married and then get married, that decision shortens my lifespan. And you're looking at the other side for men, when they decide they want to get married, their life expectancy increases. That doesn't sound like peace for me. So that sounds like stress, that sounds like burnout, that sounds like a lot of pressure. So we're putting pressure on ourselves, we're putting pressure on other women to be perfect, and it's not about perfection or peace. It's about creating a healthy partnership or preserving that partnership. So you want to create a healthy union. And a way to do that is what we talked about during the last video, having a healthy perspective, healthy conflict, and healthy compromise, and incorporating all those things for your union.
Okay, so there is so much to unpack and to address, and I'm quite sure and hoping, obviously, that you guys are going to leave some different things in the comments so that we will have an opportunity to come back and address some of those. Because I'm not a woman, there's only so much to what Diamond said that I want to speak to, but what I do want to speak to specifically is our men. And I don't care if you're married, I don't care if you are single, if you are right now looking to be in a relationship with somebody or you're not. What Diamond was just talking about should actually echo very loudly for all men, period. Like the fact that men live longer if they have someone taking care of them or in a relationship with them where they've decided to spend the rest of their lives, that trusted us as men to be head, to be leader, to be that person that's supposed to take care of them and to provide for them in far more ways than just monetary. It's not just about money. And for us to be failing at such a high clip to the point that they die before we die, but we live longer than them, that is 100% directly correlated to the condition of their health when they get into these relationships. From a societal standpoint, women are placed under far more stress and scrutiny, especially for my wife, which I can only speak to as a black woman being a double minority. I know how difficult life is for her, and it's not about, waving white flags or woe is me or feel bad for someone, because we don't want anyone to feel bad for us just because we're in relationship with each other. What the whole point is supposed to be is that we are supposed to take care of each other. Every single video that we've put out to this point has tried to echo that point, that it is all about us at first as men stepping up to the plate and saying, I'm willing to do more, right? Not just to do the bare bones minimum. I don't want to feel comfortable or confident with knowing, yeah, I'm in a relationship with somebody that's just going to take care of me. I should have something to contribute and want to contribute that to the woman I say I want to spend the rest of my life with. Why would that be okay for her to feel burned out, or for her to feel as if she does not have a voice, or for her to feel as if she needs to take on the role of being peace for me? That makes absolutely no sense to me. So I say this as a challenge to men everywhere, that, we embrace more doing more, as opposed to looking at it as, some sort of a task or something that's so difficult to do, or some sort of mission, and we got to bear up our cross, and it's just got to be so difficult to be with a woman. It's not super difficult to understand that you're imperfect. The person that you're going to be with is probably imperfect, and they need some patience just like you need patience. They need some consideration. They need some understanding. They need a rest, right? Sometimes the answer is going to be no. No is actually an answer, and that's okay. And we need to let that be okay, as opposed to consistently perpetuating this society where man is the gatekeeper, man is the head, man is at the top. And as long as women are in line, do the things that those gatekeeping men say, they're fine. However, if they decide to step out of line, whoa, 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 you're not doing what you're supposed to do or fulfilling your role. It doesn't matter whether or not this is a woman that stays at home and takes care of the home, or a woman who goes out into the workforce and has to go and get a paycheck to bring back home. Either way, the respect should still be there. The peace and the understanding and the consideration all should still be there. And so that would be my challenge to any man who's out there, to take up their mantle and be willing to do more. That's all that I'm saying. I'm not saying that you need to go out here and necessarily, kiss anyone's behind or, lay rose petals out at their feet the second that they wake up out of bed. I'm not saying that this is all about praising and worshiping another human being. But what I am saying is that we have to do a much better job of taking care of our women, because we are failing them very greatly. That's just my stance. Good, bad, or indifferent. Obviously, I know that you will let me know how it is that you feel about that and what that challenge is. And I can say with a clear conscience, as I'm sure Diamond can say, and any of the guys who've run with me since I was as old as I could have been to have a girlfriend, I have always been this way, where I believe that guys should do more because we were called to do more. And that's not just based on biblical standards. That's just on a pride of being a man type of a thing, where I don't want my wife to have to feel as if she needs to do more just to be with me, sacrifice more just to be with me. I should be the one who takes on the brunt of the burden. And if we are speaking biblically, I want to say that Jesus was a peacemaker. And I want to say that Jesus welcomed the burdens of his people. So if we're going back to that whole thing of we need to be examples of Christ in the home, and we want to be head, because that's what the Bible says. The Bible also says that if you want to be an example of Jesus, that you need to be peace. So actually, you're supposed to be her peace as a husband. Just saying. The whole purpose of this video is just to get us thinking differently about the concept of women being the peace for men, just because from our perspective, we believe that it's an idea that should be turned on top of his head, because it's not what it should be. But either way, as always, we hope that you guys like the video. We hope that you subscribe, and if not, just get some healthy dialogue going back and forth with Diamond and I about what it is that we've talked about today. So we definitely look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.